before we leave this topic, you were reading off some documents and you reference a preliminary investigation authorization, and the second is an application for a Section 28 sub 1 investigation. You seem to be reading from documents. And from my recollection, those are part of the documents that we had requested in terms of the subpoenas issued, but we unfortunately don't have at hand. As you look at them now, could you provide us the date for the preliminary investigation authorization from the record you have in your hand? What's the date of that?
Apologies, has the documents not come through to the Commission?
Is that the lot that was coming in through this morning? If it was coming in through this morning, it has to make its way through the system, so it will eventually get here. That's fine.
Mr. Botlani, are you able to assist on this?
Yes, Chair, I am. As I understand it, it is part of the documents that were made available this morning. It may very well be that it is yet to find its way to my colleague, but as she says, there is a system, and maybe it has bottlenecks here and there, but it's part of those documents, yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Then we shall be sorted later by T. They'll be printing. But in the interim, can you give me the date for the preliminary investigation authorization?
6 December
Yes.
2024.
And for the application for a Section 28(1) investigation?
Would have been 30 May 2025. 2025.
Thank you. This detail and this structure helps. Now we've been talking a lot about the Section 27 referral in the Mukwele matter. This, as in file 2, page 512, it's CJC 373. Page 512. I need you to keep open that file for the moment. There is another document I would like us to have at hand. It's from General Mkwanazi's annexures, MK 1616.
This is the information note.
MK 1616. It's a letter from the Office of the Minister of Police.
Yes, sorry, I was in the wrong tab.
Okay, thanks. Chair, I think we have a spare copy of that. It's being availed to you now. MK16 would start at page, paginated 310 in that bundle. Thank you. Let's start with MK16. If you look over leaf, it's dated the 11th of November 2024.
Correct.
And if you just cast your eye at page 516 of the file 3 that you have opened, the referral that is dated the 21st of November 2024. So let's follow the events sequentially. And I think you did reference this document that is marked MK16, which is a letter signed by, it would appear, the Chief of Staff, Ministry of Police, Mr. Ngabinde, and it's directed to the investigating director, yourself. And it shows as a heading, referral and request for investigation in terms of Section 27 of the National Prosecuting Authority Act, Act 32 of 1998, read with the National Prosecuting Amendment Act, Act 10 of 2024. You confirm receipt of this letter?
Of the MK16?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And this letter purported to refer to your office, complaint by Mr. Adams, a member of parliament, and concludes overleaf with the following statement: Honorable Fadil Adams was advised by this office to await your decision in this regard. You see that?
I see that.
Now, kindly inform the commissioners what you did upon receipt of this letter.
This letter came to us by hand, and it didn't have any attachments to it. I looked to see if we did even reply to it. I can see the letter come in, but we don't have a response to the ministry acknowledging receipt of this letter. And it is afterwards that we got an envelope that was delivered to the office with the 27.
No, we'll get to the
As it is,
27.
yes.
For the moment, let's stay with this letter.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you act upon it?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Did you act upon the letter? There is a specific request there to look into the complaint by Mr. Adams in respect of the cases listed there. And, as I say, at the end, to inform Mr. Adams of your decision. Mr. Ngabinde says, Honorable Fadil Adams was advised by this office to await your decision in this regard. So I want to know, upon receipt of this letter, what steps did you then take? You have clarified that you cannot find a response to this letter, nor an acknowledgement of receipt.
And could not act on this letter because there were no attachments to it.
No, what you're being asked is that last paragraph says, Honorable Adams was advised by this office to await your decision in this regard. And the question is, having received a letter from the ministry, what did you do? Not did you institute an investigation? Was it a letter sufficient to act on it? That's not the question. The question is, you have correspondence directed to you. I assume you do not just file away letters when they come in, especially where you are told that the complainant is awaiting to hear from you. The question is, what did you do? Either you did nothing and filed this away, or you did do something about it. And you have to say, what did you do?
What I would have done, and that is why I'm saying I cannot find it, we would have acknowledged receipt of the letter. And that is as far as I would have been able to take it, because there was nothing to do. There wasn't anything attached to this letter for me to be able to act upon it.
That's not an answer. Surely that's not an answer, Advocate. You cannot just acknowledge receipt and then keep quiet. How will the ministry know what your issue or problem is? Why not raise it with the ministry that I'm not able to do anything with this because, as you put it, there are no annexures to your letter? Why do you just acknowledge and then fold your arms and do nothing? That escapes me.
Not do nothing.
You've just
I'm
told
saying
us,
I acknowledge
thus far,
receipt.
sorry. Thus far, you've basically told us that you did nothing. All you did was to acknowledge receipt of the letter.
Yes.
What did you do then if you did do something? What did you do?
I honestly cannot remember. I have to cast my mind back to, in the acknowledgement of the receipt of the letter, I speak under correction. I'm not sure that I asked and indicated that there was nothing attached to this letter, because a few days later, by way of envelope, we get the Section 27.
He would have been told to file a Section 27. I mean, he didn't make it up. He didn't wake up one morning thinking, oops, I have to put in a Section 27 affidavit. So someone would have advised him to file that. That's why it's important to know, what did you do, what did you say in that acknowledgement of this letter. You must have said something before we get to you then received an envelope.
And the acknowledgement would have been typed from an internal computer. Surely you have that letter in your possession, or a draft of it somewhere in the computer, and it can be made available to the commission.
We have looked for it. I'm going to ask them to look for it again, because I also have to apply my mind. I can't, that is why it sounds like a fumbling answer, because I can't recollect what I would have written over and beyond. We acknowledge a receipt, and in all likelihood would have alluded to the fact that there is nothing there, because it talks to this envelope coming with the 27 a week later.
But you see, speaking for myself, Advocate Johnson, the answer you've just given now creates an impression that a draft of this letter was deleted. That's why it's not available, because you use a laptop to draft a letter. And then your PA, I assume, would have then either printed it from that computer or emailed it to you. And if you are happy with it, you would have appended your signature and it would have gone to the minister's office. Now, if you're saying we have looked and it's not there, the question is what would have happened to that draft unless somebody deleted it so that it is no longer available.
And maybe to correct what you've said, this letter doesn't say, here's a copy of an affidavit. It says a copy of a written correspondence addressed to the minister. So if it lacked anything, it was the letter which Mr. Adams addressed to the minister, not an affidavit. You still have, you're not on suspension. You have your laptop. You are able to check this and give us a copy of your response, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And I will look for it again. I will have the PA look for hers again. We did try that exercise, or we did do that exercise, not try the exercise. But if you give me till lunch today, we'll go back. I'll ask the IT, perhaps, Advocate Maga, if we could just engage with the IT to check through the email correspondence of both myself and my PA. It could have been I drafted a response and emailed to her, or she would have an emailed to me, so that we are able to give the commission a full account.
From what you're saying, so it means the letter should be in both your inboxes.
Should
Your PAs, maybe on your side, if you send to her, it will be on your sent items, and then in her inbox. If she drafted it and sent it to you, it's in her sent items and in your inbox.
Correct.
So again, going back to what Commissioner Kumalo said, it's unlikely that it would disappear
No.
on both ends. That's just unlikely. Do you agree?
Correct. and if I may, just one point of correction is, there are times as well, Chair, where I would type a document, print it myself, sign it, and then hand her the hard copy to distribute.
Yeah, I was-
Just
yeah,
for purposes of clarity.
You are correcting yourself, because what I suggested to you now was based on what you had said, which was you sending or she sending, or he, because your PA could be a he, or she, yeah. So I was basing it on what you had said, but you are correcting yourself and now saying it could be on one end only.
Correct.
All right, okay.
Sorry, there was a question by Commissioner Baloy that got lost in this engagement, which was how else would Mr. Adams have known to contact IDEC and prepare Section 27 affidavit? Did IDEC contact Mr. Adams and say, we need an affidavit from you? Because this is 13 days later, so the minister's letter is the 11th of November. On the 21st, so it's about 11 days, 10 days, Mr. Adams then has this affidavit. I don't know how it gets to IDEC, but how did Mr. Adams know that he must do a Section 27 affidavit for IDEC?
Mr. Adams would have had to be contacted by IDEC.
Following upon receipt of this letter, IDEC contacted Mr. Adams.
IDEC would have had to have contacted him, yes.
Who did that? Who contacted Mr. Adams?
In this instance, it would have had to have been Chief Criminal Investigator Perumal.
Do you know for a fact or don't you?
I did, that's why I say it would have, in all likelihood, would have been Chief Investigator
So
Perumal.
you don't know for a fact?
I don't know for a fact.
But why do you think him?
Because later on, the engagements with Mr. Adams were with Mr. Perumal and the other investigators. We would not have then sent people that have not already engaged with him.
Sorry, Mr. Law,
Indeed, Chair. No.
it was your question we took over. So
No, it's following, these are follow-up questions to the question I had asked, so
Yes,
it's
yes.
they flow from the question. I'm happy.
Yes.
Please,
Please
Chair.
go ahead, please go
Thank
ahead.
Can I ask on the back of that, your response, the way that I've understood your description of how your processes work, it's you get a Section 27, you then discuss it with, you take a view, you then discuss it with Mr. Sissoko, you give it to him to then take his own view, the two of you agree something, and after you've agreed that there is an offense in this referral, you then refer it to the team, right? That referral to the team, who in particular does it go to from you and Mr. Sissoko? Who does it go to? When you say we then refer it to a team?
The office would usually call the project manager to hand over the document, and then it goes then into the team for the deputy and all of them to work through the document.
So is Mr. Tlale a forever standing project manager? At that point, it's you and Mr. Sissoko. When does a project manager get appointed to be responsible for this now?
It depends which team you're sending it to. They have standing project managers.
So there was already a team to which you referred yours, and I'm going to call you the intake committee for now until you have that discussion with Ms. Silva and the rest of us. But for purpose of our discussion, you are the intake committee. You've made a decision. Is there a project manager already at that point, or do you then proceed at that point to appoint a project? I'm just trying to understand how you then process it from that point. And we'll come back to the question about who contacted Mr. Adams.
There are 4 project managers in the office. And when you allocate a matter to a team, that team already has an existing project manager. So it is The project manager may have been there because of other matters. And like I said, for example, that team deals with the Transnet matters under Mr. Manilal. So when we gave the matter to Mr. Manilal, the project manager who's been in that team is Mr. Klale.
Okay. Now, if Chief Perumal is the one that contacts Mr. Adams following this letter, where does he get that from? This is Chief Perumal. Where does he get it from that he must contact a member of Parliament, Adams? Because at this point, there's no Section 27 yet that has come in. So that process of you and Mr. Sissoko hasn't yet happened. Nothing has yet been referred to a team or to a project manager and team. How does Chief Perumal come into it after you've received MK16?
I speak under correction. When Mr. Sissoko is not there for me to ask or request that he engage with somebody, it would depend who's acting in his place, and I need to check if Mr. Perumal was acting at the time, or we also have Chief Criminal Investigator Lusanda Boy, to whom we would allocate. It might be on that basis that he was therefore approached to deal with this matter, because we would need an investigator to be able to interview Mr. Adams.
So for Chief Perumal to have been the one, of Mr. Boy for that matter, whoever you have appointed, but for now you say you think it must have been Chief Perumal, for him to contact Mr. Adams following you receiving this letter, because at that point that's all you have,
Yes.
You would have had to say to him, I've received this letter, contact Mr. Adams.
That is correct, Chair.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you, Commissioners.
So at that stage, neither Mr. Sissoko or whoever else was involved. It was you, and you directly said to Mr. Perumal, contact Mr. Adams. No involvement of Mr. Sissoko.
No, because we haven't had the 27 yet.
All right. I'm asking to be sure, because earlier when the same question was asked, you mentioned Mr. Sissoko, you mentioned somebody else, and that just confused issues. So, all right, thank you, I understand.
Thank you, Chair. So then, just so we understand where we are at, you've now received MK16. You indicated that you did not refer to an investigation, because it did not have attachments. But we know from the letter itself that it had written correspondence addressed to the Minister of Police. What attachments did you consider were lacking that made it, the absence of which made it difficult for you to act on this letter?
I only have these 2 pages.
Ma'am?
I only got these 2 pages.
Let's go to that, the very letter. It reads, in the first paragraph, attached here to please find for ease of reference a copy of written correspondence addressed to the Honorable Minister of Police, Honorable Senzo Mtunu by Member of Parliament, Honorable Fadil Adams.
Yes.
So you say you didn't have?
I only had these 2 pages that you have here, page 310 and 311.
Please say that again.
I only had these 2 pages.
Oh, the 310, 311 is the
310
page,
and
yeah.
311, yes.
So, did you go back to Mr. Nkabinde and say you forgot to attach the written correspondence between the Minister of Police and Mr. Adams, which you had kindly offered for ease of my reference? You didn't do that?
That is why I'm saying we need to look for the response to this letter, where I would have acknowledged the letter and in all likelihood would have asked for that which is short, attached, please find a reference. I would have asked for the written correspondence.
But definitely you recall you didn't have that correspondence attached.
I recall I didn't have that correspondence.
You then, as you testified, you instructed Chief Perumal to be in contact with Mr. Adams to obtain Section 27 affidavit?
That is correct.
Now, I want to suggest to you, so effectively, IDEC solicited a Section 27 affidavit from Mr. Adams.
I tell you now, when you look at the 27, we didn't take the 27. They would have contacted him, and I guess this is what we got. I speak under correction. Mr. Perumal would have to answer what he got from Mr. Adams, but what we got was a 27 dated the 21st of November, 2024.
That's fine. My question is, that document you're holding in your hand, IDEC solicited it from Mr. Adams. You received a letter from the minister. You then directed Mr. Perumal to act on that and contact Mr. Adams and
Ask him for his...
ask him. So you solicited a Section 27 affidavit from a would-be complainant.
I don't agree with the solicited.
Ma'am?
I don't agree with solicited. We would
Okay.
have asked him. Because, you see, I'm going into the detail that's not mine and not in my head, and I don't want to
It's
sound like
yours. It's yours, Advocate Johnson. You are the one who gave an instruction to Chief Perumal to contact Mr. Adams. So Ms. Sillo's question relates to that. That has nothing to do. Mr. Perumal would then have been the actor on your instruction. That's where the question is. It has nothing to do with what Mr. Perumal then did down the line. So please
Understood.
do not deflect the question and refer to what Mr. Perumal would have done or not done. Can you please respond to the question?
then we would have obtained the statement.
At your instance, that's the substance of the question.
That is
That's
correct.
that's what Ms. Sillo means when she says to you, so you solicited the affidavit, because what came out of your instruction that please contact Mr. Adams was the submission of the Section 27 affidavit. So it's on that basis that Ms. Sillo is suggesting to you, you solicited that affidavit. Do you now agree?
I agree.
As you sit here today, is that appropriate of IDEC to be soliciting complaints from members of the public on the basis of which then IDEC initiates investigations?
No, we're not supposed to solicit, and that is why I'm saying I tell Mr. Perumal to engage Mr. Adams. I don't know if this was a prepared affidavit already. It was to say to him, we received a letter from the minister. We are engaging you. So whether this was already prepared or not, at the time, we got this affidavit.
Okay, so then you recall when we're looking at MK16, the last sentence in MK16 before the signature by Mr. Ngabinde states, Honorable Fadiel Adams was advised by this office to await your decision in this regard. So it's fair then to conclude that your decision that you communicated to Mr. Adams is prepare an affidavit, Section 27 affidavit, and submit to IDEC. That's what you must have advised Mr. Adams based on your testimony.
That is what the advice would have been.
Okay.
Just on something you said in response to Ms. Sillo's previous question. You touched on the possibility that, not stating it as a fact, that the affidavit, you do not know whether the affidavit had already been prepared at the time of your instruction to Mr. Perumal. Did I understand you correctly?
That is correct, Chair.
No, that's not a fact. Look at that affidavit. It's dated 21 November 2024.
Yes.
And the minister's letter
Is
is
11.
is the 11th of November 2024. So there was no prepared affidavit. I thought I should just put that out of the way. That's something you must accept, correct?
I hear what the chair is saying.
Yes, yes. All I'm
Yes.
saying is, let's forget about the possibility of an affidavit that could already have been in existence between the time that you got the letter from the minister and the time that this affidavit was eventually submitted to IDEC. That's not a possibility.
Correct.
We do see the correct facts here. Thank you.
So the upshot of all of this is that the referral to IDEC was by the minister's office. And following that referral, IDEC then made a decision to engage with Mr. Adams to obtain an affidavit from him.
It follows, Commissioner, yes.
And thank you, Commissioners. I suggest to you that you did that because you knew as ID that the minister's letter does not constitute a Section 27 referral. And IDEC decided to cure that deficiency. If we look at Section 27, it says the complaint must be on affidavit. So you knew that the minister's letter would not be sufficient to trigger your mandate. And you sought to cure that shortcoming. I'm trying to flight Section 27, if you have it close by. There, it's on the screen. You see Section 27 states, if any person has reasonable grounds to suspect that a specified offense has been or is being committed, or that an attempt has been or is being made to commit such an offense, he/she may report the matter in question to the head of the ID investigating directorate by means of an affidavit or affirmed declaration. You see that? And you are quite familiar with Section 27. You nod. Please articulate
Yes,
your
sorry.
response. Thanks.
Yeah.
So because you read the minister's letter and you saw the difficulty that it would not trigger your power to investigate, you contact Mr. Adams through Mr. Perumal to cure that problem and to provide a Section 27 affidavit.
Yes, as the minister refers, referral and request for investigation in terms of Section 27, but there isn't a Section 27 there. And so by virtue of what you're saying, we had to go ahead then and get a Section 27.
Why?
Because there is no 27 that is referred to us through that letter.